Okay, there we go. And so what you're doing is you're going to use your right hand. All right, so you're going to use your right hand. You're going to use your thumb and your ring finger, and that's all. So the thumb blocks the right nostril, and it blocks this little divot here, this little dip, and then you can breathe in through your left nostril. And then when I say breathe in through the right, you're going to use your ring finger and block the left nostril so that you can breathe in through the right nostril. And so this is called alternate nostril breathing. This is really good if you have anxiety, and usually if you have anxiety, your breath becomes dysregulated and you can't really control the breath. This really helps you to sort of gain back that control of the breath. And so we're going to start inhaling through the left, and we'll exhale through the right. And it'll be 4 counts, and I'll count it all for you, okay? So remember, it's just the right hand, thumb on the right nostril, ring finger on the left, and you're basically doing this. It's just alternate nostril breathing. Okay, if you like the peace fingers, you can rest it here. I find that a little harder, so I tuck mine in like this, okay? So find a comfortable seat. Again, it can be on a chair. I'm sitting on a bolster, it's on a pillow, cushion, and then your hands will be just relaxed at your knees. And then close your eyes, and then we'll begin by just checking in where we are right now, right? So each one of us today has come from somewhere different. We all have, the day has been different for us, and so we're all coming together collectively. So close your eyes and just check in with your breath, no judgment. Maybe you can even sense your heart rate. And with your eyes closed, bring your awareness to your shoulders, your neck, maybe shifting a bit from side to side, finding your neutral. And now together we'll exhale fully, but without straining through your nose, both nostrils. And then you'll inhale deeply, again without straining through both nostrils. And this next exhale is to prepare. So exhale through both nostrils. Take your right thumb, lock your right nostril, and we'll inhale through the left for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So release the pranayama, come back to your neutral breath. Bring both hands to your knees, eyes are closed. And come back to your neutral breath, whatever that means for you. It might mean you're breathing in and out through your mouth, in and out through the nose. So don't worry about the correct way to breathe. Your body will let you know which way it wants to breathe right now. And then you'll slowly blink your eyes open. All right, very good. So we're going to start today seated, doing some stretches, and then today I want to go over some standing poses. So we'll start out seated, and again, if you have a bolster, blankets, blocks, books, if you want to use that, we're going to start out seated in the cross-leg position. Sometimes I like to use a bolster or some blankets. I'm going to go over this again. If you're seated and your knees are really high like this and your back is really rounded, right? You kind of feel like you're going to roll back. That's okay. That just means that the hamstrings are tight. You just need to be a little higher. So sometimes taking a bolster or some blankets or the block will help it along. And then if you sit at the edge, it'll tilt your pelvis forward. So what I mean by that is tilting the pelvis forward. It's kind of like sticking your butt out, and that will drop the knees down. All right, so that's an option. You can also do this on a chair. So we're going to do something called cat and cow, but we're going to do it with our head, our upper body only. You're going to interlace your fingers, and you're going to support the back of your neck. So I'm here at the base of my neck, so that if I let my head go, my hands are supporting my neck. And we're going to do this with the breath. So we're going to let the breath lead the pose, right? Instead of the body leading, we're going to let the energy body lead. So I'm going to inhale, and the split millisecond after I inhale, I'm going to move. So it's going to be inhale, open, and then I'm going to rest my head in my hands, and then exhale, round the back, bring the elbows together, and let the weight of my hands go on my head. So we'll do a couple more just like that. So as I inhale, I lift the center of my chest, open the elbows wide, rest my head on my hands, exhale, and then I round the back, bring the elbows together, and then let the weight of my hands rest on the back of my head. So a couple more just like this. The inhale opens the front body, and then the exhale, we round the back. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we round. 2 more. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we round. Last one. Inhale, we open. And then exhale, we round. And then we bring the head back to neutral, and then we release. So that's a really good stretch for your neck. We're going to stay seated. We're doing some twists and some lateral bends. So we'll bring the arms overhead on the inhale, and then as you exhale, twist to the right. The left hand goes to the right knee. The right hand goes behind you, and then we're going to lift and twist. So I'm taking my left hand, and I'm pulling up just a little bit on my right leg, and then I'm pressing my right knee down. So there's a little yin-yang push-pull happening between my hand and my knee. And then you'll notice that that helps to twist the body a bit more. If you're feeling this in your lower back, let it go, right? Don't push through any lower back pain. And then if your head and neck feel okay, you'll slowly turn your head towards the right. And then your right hand is behind you, just supporting you. And then in your twist, bring your mind's eye, just bring your awareness to what's happening with the left shoulder. It might be creeping up towards your ear. See if you can draw that down. And now as we inhale, we come back to center, bring both arms overhead. And then exhale, we'll twist towards the left. Again, the right hand goes to the left knee. And again, like I'm pulling it up with my hand, but then my knee is coming down. So it's an active pose. And then we twist a little bit towards the back, being mindful of this right shoulder, relaxing the right shoulder down. And then you'll notice it's different from one side to the other. You might find that one side is more open, more available, and then the other side might feel a little tighter. And that's okay. Respect the range of motion on either side of the body. Right? So it's not because we did it on one side, it has to be the exact same thing on the second side, right? We're just respecting where we are. You come back to center, inhale, you bring your arms overhead, and then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. All right, so now we're doing a lateral bend. So take your right hand and you'll bring it to the mat. If you're seated, you could just hold on to the bottom of your chair and do this. So if you're seated, you could do that by holding on to the bottom of the chair. So you'll take your right hand, bring the hand down, and then turn this palm up because that opens, externally rotates the shoulder, and then we're gonna bring the arm up alongside you. If this doesn't work, if it hurts, you're gonna bring the arm here. And then we're gonna side bend over to the side. The right arm, you can keep it straight, or if you want, you can come down to the forearm. How do you know which one to choose? As long as you can keep your left sit bone, that's kind of like your butt cheek, as long as you can keep that making contact with the floor, the chair, the bolster, then you can come down. Once you feel that that's creeping up, you've come up too much and you're not getting the benefit of that twist. From here, if you'd like, you can turn the center of the chest up towards the ceiling. And again, we want to reach through that elbow. And now focus your breath on the left side of the torso. Imagine you have a bunch of nostrils here, and you're breathing in through the left side of the rib cage. And then as you inhale, left arm helps you come up. And then we just take a moment, we come back to center, and then we'll try that to the other side. So this time the left fingertips come down, right palm goes up, we bring it up. Wherever, as soon as the elbow starts to bend, then that's as far as you go. Only go as far as you can keep the elbow straight. And then we'll come over to the side, and remember each side is different. Right, and you know, I know I'm kind of flexible, so don't feel that that's what you have to do, right? Every body is different, literally. And so you just respect where you are. So if you want to come further down, you can. Again, remember, this time the right sit bone has to keep contact with the bolster, and we're going to reach and go over. And again, if you want to turn and look up towards the ceiling, you can. And then inhale, the right arm reaches up. And then we come back to center. And then we'll bring the arms overhead. Inhale, and then exhale, hands to heart center. If you're sitting cross-legged, just change your leg. I'll call it the weird side, because we're always used to just doing it one way. So if it feels too weird, you could change it back, but it's good to just change the legs a little bit. So now we're gonna stretch out our upper back and the shoulders. So you're gonna reach the arms forward, and we're taking the right arm and bring it underneath the left arm. So we're just crossing. If you can cross the elbows, you wanna cross it as much as you can, and then you're gonna bend the elbows. So the back of your hands are touching. If you can, you're either gonna hold here. If you can cross at the wrists, you'll cross there. So you're either here or you're here. If you cross at the wrists, then the palms of your hands are touching. Yeah. And now relax the shoulders down. So we're gonna relax the shoulders down. So keeping the shoulders down, inhale and see if you can just lift the elbows up a little bit. This is not a great big move. This is a very, very tiny move. And then with the elbows, maybe the height of your shoulders, you'll just let your head go. Take a couple of breaths here. So lift the head back to neutral. And now bring the elbows down towards your chest. And now bring your fingertips towards me, so forward. And again, don't worry about how far you get. You want to relax the shoulders. And then here again, just let the head go down. And imagine that your chin is a little pencil point. You're going to draw on your collarbone as you turn your head from side to side. So imagine that your chin is just drawing a semicircle all along from one side of the collarbone to the other. And then we come back to center, lift the head, release the arms, reach the arms out to the side, draw the fingertips back, and then press the heels of the hands away. And then we're going to lower down the arms. And we're going to try that to the other side. So reach your arms forward. This time the left arm goes underneath the right, cross at the elbows. Elbows bend. You have many options here. You can have the back of your hands pressed together, or you're gonna just also twist at the forearms or the wrists. And then your palms are touching together like you're clapping. Become aware of the shoulders. They tend to hike up. We're gonna release the shoulders down and then lift the elbows up while you're keeping the shoulders down as best you can. Right, so take a couple of breaths here. Whatever you're feeling tension in the neck, focus your exhale breath. When you're exhaling, just focus your mind on that part of the neck. And now as you exhale, you're gonna lower your head, take a couple of breaths here. And then we're gonna come back up. And now we'll lower the elbows to the chest. Reach the hands forward towards me, the fingertips forward. And then here again, we're gonna lower the head and then just turn your head from left to right. So it's like you're looking at your right shoulder, you look down, and then you look at your left shoulder, and you look down, and then looking over to the right. And then make sure you do it to the other side. And then we come back to center, and then we lift up, we reach the arms out, flex the hands, press the heels of the hands away, and then relax. All right, so we're coming into child's pose for a couple of breaths, and then we're gonna put the music on. I have to put the music on. So child's pose is you start in tabletop, hands and knees, and you have your knees together, and then you're pressing back. So you're bringing your sit bones to your heels. If you don't like the knees together, you can do it with your knees wide. Knees wide is good because it gives your belly a place to breathe. So you can bring your knees wide and press back. And then as you breathe, your belly has a place to breathe. So you're gonna press back into that child's pose. So everyone's gonna come here. And then you're just gonna hold here for about 5 breaths. And while you're there, you'll probably notice that the space where you have to breathe is in the back body. And so that's where I want you to focus your breath. So 2 more breaths here. All right, so now, reach your arms forward, inhale, pull yourself into tabletop. So we're gonna learn now plank and down dog. So these are 2 poses that we do a lot in yoga. So the most important thing is just be aware if this is happening, like with your butt sticking out, you gotta draw the belly button in. Imagine my hand is on your lower back, and then I ask you to press your lower back into my hand. You wanna draw the core in, and we're coming into what's called a half plank. So a half plank means make sure your shoulders are over the wrist, pull the belly button in, and I just want you to straighten the right leg. Right? So this is a half plank. When you straighten your right leg, notice if your shoulders went behind your wrists, you want the shoulders directly over the wrists. Yeah, pull the belly button in strongly, push the floor away with the heels of your hands, and now see if you can straighten the left leg. So it's like a high push-up. Good. And now we're gonna lower both knees and press back into child's pose. Take about 2 breaths here. And now inhale, pull yourself forward. We're doing half plank to the other side. So from your tabletop position, again, make sure you're not shifting the weight over too much to one side. Slowly straighten the left leg. And when you straighten the left leg, if you're over the midline, you should feel more weight on your left hand. So draw the belly button in, push the floor away, and then same thing here. You're gonna straighten the right leg and then come into your plank. Very good. And then we're gonna bring the knees down and child's pose. We're just learning all these different poses, and then we're going to put it together in a little mini vinyasa. So now we're going to learn down dog. So normally down dog comes from your plank position. And so down dog is when you're in a plank pose, you press back. Everyone is really concerned about having their heels touch the floor in down dog. That's not important. It's really not important. So in your plank, you move back. Wherever your heels land, that's fine. Here's the thing. If your spine is really rounded because your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees and then straighten your spine. So we want to maintain the integrity of the spine and then bend the knees. Believe me, you're getting a stretch in your hamstrings. Very good. Bring the knees down and press back child's pose. So we'll hold here for 5 breaths. So plank and down dog in the beginning, if you're new to yoga, it means, your wrists might hurt, or it seems like it is a lot of work in the beginning. But you'll see how soon enough you do it, you become really strong. It's a really great stretch. So now we're going to move with the breath and the pose. Okay? So let's start in child's pose. So inhale, we're going to come forward into tabletop. Exhale, press back down dog. So lift up and press back. Inhale, pull forward into plank, so a high push-up. Exhale, child's pose. Good. So we're going to do that a couple of times, just with the breath. All right. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. 2 more. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. And last one. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, child's pose. All right, you get some time here, child's pose. If you'd like, if your wrists are a little, achy, you can reach your hands back, palms facing up, and rest your head on the floor. If your head doesn't touch the floor, that's fine. You can take a blanket, a sweater, anything that you have, a book, to support your head. So we'll be here about another 5 breaths. That was called vinyasa, and vinyasa normally means 1 pose, 1 breath. So it's a very flowy movement type of yoga. Okay. Okay. So now we're coming to a standing pose, and we're going to learn 2 more poses. Right? So from your child's pose, you'll come into your tabletop, and then we're coming to a forward fold. So step 1 foot forward. If the foot doesn't make it, bring your hand to the ankle and step it forward. Right? And then we'll take the other foot, bring it forward. You want to have a nice bend at the knees, and then push through the heels, and then inhale, arms come up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're going to learn 2 poses today. So one is called Warrior 1 and then Warrior 2. So normally you step into it, but we're just going to do it from a Tadasana position, which is called mountain pose. And so we're in mountain pose here. Mountain pose, you can have your feet together or slightly apart. And you want to just be aware. So we don't want to, have this going on. You want to gently, if you are here, this is a very natural position for me actually. So, because I hyperextend my knees. So I'm gonna, if you hyperextend your knees like I do, you're gonna bend them slightly. Just draw the navel in so that there's length in the lower back. And then the shoulders. We have shoulders, hips, ankle. So that the gravity is going right optimally, not hitting your lower back. So we're going to start with feet about hip distance apart. We're going to keep the right leg where it is, and then staying hip distance apart, step the left foot back. So there's still, it's like you're on railroad tracks. There's one wheel and the other wheel. So we're not here, and then you're going to lose balance. You're here. Okay. And then I like to tell people to bring their hands to their hip bones. And the tendency is that you might feel like you're twisting towards the left. You want to have both hip bones facing forward. That means that you need to press through the right heel, like you have gum on your right heel, and you're dragging the heel back, that right heel back. That'll move that hip back, and we'll move this hip forward. This pose can feel a little weird because we want to lift up that heel. That's another pose that's called lunge. We're doing warrior one. So the back foot is flat. The heel turned out, and you're pressing to the outer edge of the back foot. I'll show you. See how we're pressing to the outer edge of that back foot. So then I'm not collapsing into my arch from the foot. And then my hips are here, very forward. And it doesn't have to be that wide, it can really look like that. You're warrior one. And you can bring your arms overhead. So pressing to the outer edge, drawing the navel in, and then we're just going to hold here 5 breaths. And now we'll take the back leg, step it forward for Tadasana. So on your inhale, you step the foot forward, and then exhale, hands are turned. All right, so we'll try that to the other side. You bring your arms overhead on the inhale, and then as you exhale, you'll step this time the right foot back. And you'll find that one side, it might feel more accessible to keep those hips squared. You bring your fingertips to the hip bone, and tendency will be to turn that way, or to the right. I'm going to drag from the heel like I've got gum on my left heel to move this hip back and squeeze this hip forward. Passing again, notice if you're collapsing, if all the weight is on that right big toe, or pressing to the outer edge of the back foot. There's a lot going on right now. And then we're going to bring both arms overhead. This is an active pose. It's a warrior pose. Right, so the elbows are straight, you're reaching out through the fingertips, lifting up through the center of the chest, the shoulders are relaxed. We're only using the muscles that we need to sustain. One more breath here. And now as you inhale, you step the back foot forward to Tadasana. So step, inhale, and then exhale, and heart. All right, so that was warrior one. So now we're coming into warrior two. We'll start again with the right leg. So if we're looking at each other this way, you're going to take the right foot, turn it out to the right, and then step it out. And now you've got the right foot is pointing out. We're going to have the knee straight for now. This foot, the left foot, you notice it's just a little bit turned in. And it's just like the warrior one foot, I'm pressing into the outer edge of the foot. So I'm not here. Because you see that puts a lot of pressure on the inner knee. You don't want that. So we want to press into the outer edge of the foot so that if I came around and I could put my fingers underneath the arch. The heel of your right foot, if I drew a line, with more or less, doesn't have to be exact, more or less hit the arch of the back. Right? We're going to inhale here, and then exhale, we back. Right? Again, you go as deep as you feel comfortable. This is warrior two. This is a serious warrior pose. So we want the shoulders over the hips. The tendency is to do this. We want to push this back so we're right here. So we're going to hold here 5 breaths. So again, check in with your breath. Notice what your breath is doing, just like we started out with the class. Bring your awareness to the breath. You can slow it down. 2 more breaths. All right, then straighten the leg. Turn the toes forward. Normally you can hop your feet together, or you can just heel toe. All right, so now we're doing warrior 2. Same thing. We're gonna take the left foot, turn the left foot out, and then step it out. We start out with the leg straight. Right toes, I'm gonna turn them in slightly, and then press into the outer edge. Another thing, notice what I'm doing, see how I'm kind of kicking my butt out like that? And you want length along both sides. It's so easy to hang out here. So I have to be careful of that. So I'm gonna bring my hips together. Now once I've got shoulders, hips, I'm gonna bend this front knee, right? Making sure, again, I'm not doing this. The other side of my body is shorter and this side's longer. I want to move my hips forward so both sides of my torso are the same length. Then we bring the arms out and we hold here for 5 breaths. If you're getting a little winded, that's fine. It's completely normal in the beginning. You're doing a lot here. You're holding, using your calves, using your quadricep muscles. You're also using your shoulder, arm muscles to keep your arms held up. You have 2 more breaths. But just come back to the breath. Focus on the breath and you'll see how you get. 1 more breath. And then inhale, straighten this front leg, turn the toe in, and then you can hop, but I'm just doing heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. All right, good. So let's take 1 sun breath. So we're gonna inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, tiny little bend in the knees. Exhale, pull the belly button in as you come forward. Inhale, push through the heels like you're gonna jump up. Bring the arms overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart. All right, so now we're coming down. So we'll come down going through tabletop. Inhale, arms reach overhead. Exhale, again, little tiny bend, forward fold. And then inhale, step the right foot back. Your hands are on the mat. Drop the right knee. Step the left foot back. Now you're on your hands and knees. And then press back into child's pose. And then we'll hold here in child's pose for 5 long and deep breaths. So 2 more breaths here. All right, so here we go. Last little pose before we do our seated meditation and then our guided meditation in Shavasana. We're going to stay lying down and we're going to learn a pose called happy baby pose. All right, so you're going to lie on your back and I'm going to give you some variations. If you have a sock or a belt or a blanket, if you want to use that to hold your feet in, you're going to lie on your back, both knees are bent. You're going to bring your right knee into your chest. And then see if your right hand can hold on to the outside of your right foot. Yeah, perfect. And then you want the bottom of your foot, see if you can bring the bottom of your foot to face the ceiling. Yeah. And then we're going to hold here. Now, you might wonder, where is this knee supposed to go? Into my chest. If you're able to push it down and it's hitting the right side of your rib cage, you can move the right leg over to the right side of the rib cage so that it's moving towards the floor. Yeah, then we're going to hold here. Now you have a couple of options. You can keep the left knee bent with the left foot on the floor, or if you'd like, you can straighten the left leg. So that's an option. You could keep the left knee bent or the left knee straight. You can reach your left arm overhead or keep it alongside you. The head. If you notice that your head is cocked back and the tip of your chin is pointing towards the ceiling, again, that's okay. That's okay. Just take a block or a blanket or something, put a pillow underneath your head so that the back of your neck is lengthened. So you don't want, if you're here, that's a hyperextension of the neck. You want to support your head with a pillow so that the back of the neck is lengthened. 2 more breaths here. And then you'll slowly bring the right leg down, straighten both the right leg and the left leg. Right leg might seem a little bit longer. And we'll even that out in a moment. Now we're going to bend both knees again. We'll bring the left knee into your chest. And then your left hand will reach for the outside, the pinky side of your left foot. And then you bring the left foot so that the bottom of the left foot is facing the ceiling. And then you very gently are bringing the left knee towards your left armpit. Very gently, because we don't want to drag it down. We're just very gently just seeing what happens, moving really slowly. Seeing how the body reacts, seeing how the breath reacts. See what thoughts are coming up as you're trying to do this. Just being aware of everything that comes up as you're moving through the poses. Again, your options here are to keep the right knee bent, or if you'd like, you can straighten the right leg along the mat. An option, it's a variation, choose the one that works for you. Same thing here. If you notice that your chin is really high, you want to just support the head, and you put a pillow over your head, then you have a length here, and back than that. So 2 more breaths here. Very good. Straighten the leg, bring the foot down, straighten both legs. Take 3 breaths here, palms facing up. Notice left side of the body, right side of the body. All right, so now we're going to bend the knees, roll onto one side, and we're going to come to the seated position. Here's what we're doing. We're coming into 3 minutes of seated meditation. Okay, and then after the 3 minutes, we're going into Shavasana. So Shavasana, let me see. Maybe I should lift this up again. So Shavasana is our final pose, and Shavasana is the best pose because you lie down. And if you have pillows or blankets, you're just going to make yourself comfortable. Not now, just saying, after we do the guided meditation, just showing you. If you have a blanket, you should cover yourself. Body temperature will go down quickly. Stop moving. So we're doing Shavasana, which is just lying, resting pose after our guided meditation. Okay. My favorite song. All right, so here we go. You're going to hear one gong. That will start the 3 minutes. At the end of the 3 minutes, you will hear 3 gongs. So wait for the 3rd one before you lie down and come into your Shavasana position. When you lie down, you want to move as mindfully as possible. Instead of, just getting up and lying down, you'll be in the very relaxed state. So you want to move very slowly and mindfully trying to disturb the body as little as possible, okay, so that we can stay in that state. So what I ask for you to do is in these 3 minutes, see if you can keep your focus on your breath. You won't be able to, and that's okay. No one can. The job of the mind is to think, and that's what the mind does. What we're trying to get the mind to do is to just focus on one thing to the complete exclusion of everything else, right? So a lot of time people say like, clear your mind. It's impossible to clear your mind. It is the job of your mind to have thoughts. The best we can do is to train it to focus on one thing. So that's all we're doing here for these 3 minutes. You're going to focus on your breath, maybe 2 breaths, and then you're going to be thinking about what you're doing tomorrow. And then you'll think breath. You'll take another 2, 3 breaths, and then you're going to think about what you were supposed to do yesterday. And then that's what you do the whole time. And it's completely normal. And that's just the practice, right? Of just staying with that. Okay, so find your comfortable position, whatever that is. You can, again, sit on a chair if you'd like. Find your comfortable position first. Close your eyes once more. And then once when you have your eyes closed, come back to your physical body, right? So checking in with the physical body once we've removed that one of our senses, the sense of sight. And then just noticing where you are, where your body is in space with the eyes closed. All right, so here we go, 3 minutes seated. All right, so now you'll slowly make your way to a seated position, not a seated position, to a lying down position, to your Shavasana. And then remember to just cover yourself up if you need to, or put a blanket or pillow underneath your knees. And what I want you to do is to follow the sound of my breath, of my voice. We're doing a guided meditation. I did this one last week. So what I'll do is I'm going to call out different parts of the body. And all I want you to do is to follow the sound of my voice and bring your mind's eye to that part of the body. So you don't need to wiggle the toes or move that part of the body at all. I just want you to have your mind's eye, your internal gaze. Bring the awareness to that part of your body and have it stay there until I call out another part of the body, okay? Bring your awareness to your right hand. Bring your awareness to your left shoulder. Your left heel. Right shoulder. Left hip bone. Right ankle. Back of your neck. Right knee. The palm of your left hand. The tip of your nose. Left big toe. Right eyebrow. Lower back. Your right hip bone. The top of your right foot. Left wrist. Right pinky toe. Middle back. Tip of your chin. Upper back. Left pinky toe. base of your spine. Lower belly. Navel center. Heart center. Throat center. Eyebrow center. Crown of your head. Base your spine. Crown of your head. Base of your spine. Crown of your head. Slowly bring your awareness back into the room. See if you can stay as still as possible. Keep your eyes closed and just become aware of the sounds all around you. Becoming aware of the sound of your own breath as you deepen the breath, exhaling fully. Inhale deeply. With your eyes closed, becoming aware of your body and where it is in space, support that you're receiving. If you used any props, just noticing the support either on the legs or the arms or the back of the head, noticing the weight of your body. And then slowly, with your own time, you can slowly begin to awaken your physical body, making small movements with your fingers and your toes, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. If you'd like, you can turn your head from side to side very slowly. And then bringing one knee into your chest and then the other knee into your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins, releasing your lower back. And then in your own time, you can roll onto one side and then slowly make your way to a seated position. Then we'll end the class with one chant of Om. You don't have to chant Om if you don't feel comfortable. You can hum, so or you can just listen, okay? So it's completely up to you. So we're gonna bring our hands to our heart center. If you'd like to chant with me, you're gonna take a deep inhale. Bowing your head, honoring your practice. Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Namaste. 7 o'clock exact. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for sharing your hour with me, and I'm very, very honored. Thank you. Maybe I'll see you in 2 weeks. Oh, thank you. Bye, everyone. If you have any questions or anything, you can send something in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know.